There is a kind of woman who does not need to announce her worth. She does not walk into a room demanding attention. She does not explain why she deserves respect. She does not chase people who are unsure about her. And she does not reveal every part of herself simply because someone asks. Her power is quieter than that. She has learned that not everything valuable needs to be displayed, and not everything personal needs to be explained. In a world where people are encouraged to share everything, their plans, relationships, struggles, achievements, and emotions, there is tremendous strength in knowing what to keep private. A high-value woman understands that privacy is not secrecy. Silence is not weakness. Boundaries are not arrogance. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is simply stop explaining yourself. Because the moment you realize that your peace is more important than people's opinions, your entire life begins to change. You stop telling everyone what you are planning before you have built it. You stop discussing every relationship problem with people who have never lived your life. You stop revealing your deepest wounds to those who have not earned your trust. And you stop seeking approval from people who only understand the old version of you. You begin to understand something powerful. Your life does not need an audience to have meaning. There are things you protect because they are precious. There are dreams you keep quiet because they are still growing. There are battles you fight privately because you do not need applause for surviving them. And there are truths about yourself that you simply do not owe to everyone. In this video, we are going to explore 12 things high-value women never tell anyone, not because they are playing games, pretending to be mysterious, or trying to appear superior, but because they have developed something far more important: self-respect, emotional discipline, and inner control. These principles can change the way you communicate, the way you choose relationships, and most importantly, the way you see yourself. So listen carefully, because sometimes becoming stronger does not mean learning what to say. Sometimes it means learning what no longer needs to be said. And if you are ready to protect your peace, strengthen your boundaries, and become the woman who does not need external validation to know her own value, stay until the end. Because the most powerful woman in the room is often not the one speaking the most. She is the one who knows exactly when to speak, when to remain silent, and why. A high-value woman understands that her personal life is not public property. She does not believe that everyone deserves to know what happens behind her smile, inside her home, within her relationships, or inside her mind. She has learned a powerful lesson. Privacy is not about hiding who you are. It is about protecting what matters to you. In a world where people constantly share their lives for attention, approval, and validation, choosing silence can become a form of strength. She knows that when you tell everyone everything, you give everyone an opinion about something they may not understand. You share a problem with 10 people, and suddenly you have 10 different solutions, 10 different judgments, and 10 different expectations. Some people genuinely care about you, but others may only be curious. Some may listen because they love you, while others listen because they enjoy having information about your life. A wise woman learns the difference. This does not mean she becomes cold or isolated. She still has trusted people. She still communicates. She still asks for advice when she needs it, but she becomes selective. She understands that trust should be earned gradually, not given automatically. Someone being friendly does not mean they deserve access to your deepest thoughts. Someone asking personal questions does not mean you are obligated to answer them. Think about your dreams. When you tell everyone what you are planning to do, you may feel a temporary sense of accomplishment before you have actually accomplished anything. People praise the idea, you receive attention, and your mind can mistake that feeling for progress. But a disciplined woman understands that talking about the destination is not the same as walking toward it. Sometimes she keeps her plans quiet, works in silence, and allows the results to introduce her. The same principle applies to relationships. She does not broadcast every argument, every disagreement, or every emotional moment. She understands that once private information is released, it can be difficult to take it back. People may forgive a mistake, but they may remember the details forever. So before speaking, she asks herself a simple question. Does sharing this help me, or am I simply looking for temporary emotional relief? That question can change everything. She also protects her vulnerabilities. Being vulnerable is not weakness, but vulnerability without discernment can become dangerous. The right person can hold your pain with compassion. The wrong person can use it as a weapon. A high-value woman does not build walls around her heart, but she builds doors, and she decides who gets a key. There will be moments when people misunderstand her silence. They may call her distant, secretive, or difficult. But she does not spend her life correcting every misunderstanding. She knows that constantly explaining yourself to people who have already decided what to believe is exhausting. Her peace does not depend on everyone's approval. Real maturity is knowing that not every thought needs to become a conversation, not every emotion needs to become a public announcement, and not every chapter of your life needs an audience. Your life becomes more peaceful when you stop trying to prove everything. Protect your private world. Protect your dreams while they are still becoming reality. Protect the relationships that matter. Protect the parts of yourself that are still healing. You do not have to tell everyone everything. Some things become more powerful when they remain yours alone. A high-value woman understands that not every plan needs to be announced before it becomes reality. She does not feel the need to tell everyone what she is going to do, where she is going, how successful she will become, or how much her life is about to change. She has learned that there is a special kind of power in working quietly and allowing results to speak for themselves. When you announce every goal too early, you invite other people's opinions into a process that is still fragile. Someone may tell you that your dream is unrealistic. Someone else may compare you with another person. Another person may laugh because they cannot imagine themselves doing what you are trying to accomplish. Even people who love you may unintentionally transfer their fears onto you. A disciplined woman learns to listen without allowing every opinion to control her direction. She understands that an idea is delicate when it is still developing. In the beginning, you need concentration more than applause. You need consistency more than recognition. You need action more than explanation. Imagine planting a seed. You do not dig it up every morning to prove that it is growing. You water it, protect it, give it time, and let nature do its work. Your goals are often the same. They require patience, discipline, and quiet effort before anyone can see the results. This is why she may say less and work more. She does not constantly announce that she is going to change her life. She simply changes her habits. She wakes up earlier. She becomes more disciplined with her time. She learns new skills. She improves her health. She manages her money more carefully. She becomes selective about the people around her. She stops wasting energy on things that do not move her forward. And one day, people notice the difference. They may ask, "When did you become like this?" The answer is simple. While they were watching the old version of her, she was quietly building the new one. There is also wisdom in understanding that talking about your goals can sometimes create the illusion of progress. When people praise your intentions, your brain can experience a small sense of achievement, even though the actual work has not been completed. You feel productive because you talked about becoming successful, but success requires something deeper: repetition, discipline, failure, adjustment, and persistence. So she does not need to constantly tell people what she is building. She builds. She does not need to announce that she is becoming stronger. She becomes stronger. She does not need to convince everyone that she will succeed. She lets time answer that question. This does not mean hiding everything or refusing healthy accountability. There are moments when sharing a goal with the right mentor, partner, friend, or professional can provide valuable support. The lesson is not tell nobody. The lesson is tell the right people. Not everyone deserves a front row seat to your becoming. Some people should meet the finished result, not receive a daily report of the construction. And when you begin to understand this, you stop seeking validation for every decision. You become comfortable with uncertainty. You become comfortable with being misunderstood. You become comfortable working without applause. That is where real discipline begins, because sometimes the strongest announcement you can make is no announcement at all. Just keep moving, keep learning, keep building, keep becoming. Then, when the time is right, let your life say everything you once wanted to explain. A high-value woman understands that her worth is not measured by how much attention she receives, how quickly someone responds to her messages, how many people desire her, or whether someone chooses to stay. She knows that love should be mutual, respect should be consistent, and connection should never require her to abandon herself. She does not spend her life begging someone to recognize a value that she has already learned to recognize within herself. This does not mean she never feels hurt. She does. She can experience rejection, loneliness, disappointment, and heartbreak just like anyone else. The difference is that she does not allow those emotions to dictate her behavior. She may feel the pain, but she does not let the pain convince her that she is worthless. There is a major difference between wanting someone and needing their approval to feel complete. A woman can deeply care about someone and still walk away from disrespect. She can love someone and still maintain boundaries. She can miss someone and still refuse to chase them. She can hope for reconciliation while accepting that she cannot control another person's decision. That is emotional strength. Many people lose themselves because they become addicted to external validation. They constantly check their phones, analyze messages, wonder why someone has changed, and try to become whatever they think will make another person stay. Slowly, they stop asking, "Is this relationship healthy for me?" and start asking, "What do I need to do so this person will choose me?" A high-value woman changes the question. She asks, "Does this person respect me? Do their actions match their words? Do I feel peaceful around them? Can I be myself? Are we growing together, or am I constantly trying to earn basic consideration?" She understands that attention is not the same as love. Someone can give you attention and still not value you. Someone can compliment you and still disrespect you. Someone can say beautiful things and still behave in ways that make you feel insecure. Words can create excitement, but consistent actions reveal character. That is why she does not beg for what should be freely given. She does not repeatedly ask someone to communicate. She does not have to convince someone to treat her with kindness. She does not chase someone who continuously pulls away. And she does not compete for a position in someone's life when that person has already shown that they are unwilling to make space for her. Her silence is not always a punishment. Sometimes it is acceptance. She simply understands that forcing a connection destroys the very thing she was trying to preserve. The moment you stop begging for attention, something inside you changes. You become calmer. You stop obsessing over every message. You stop interpreting every silence as a judgment of your worth. You begin investing your energy in your own growth instead of trying to control someone else's feelings. And this is where self-respect becomes visible. Self-respect does not mean believing you are better than everyone else. It means knowing that you deserve honesty, consistency, dignity, and mutual effort. It means refusing to trade your peace for temporary attention. The right people will not require you to constantly prove that you are worthy of being loved. So never make someone your entire world simply because they gave you attention. Love deeply, but do not lose yourself. Care sincerely, but maintain your boundaries. Give affection, but never give away your dignity. Because the moment you understand that you are complete without someone else's approval, you stop chasing love, and you become capable of choosing love from a place of strength rather than desperation. A high-value woman understands that not every battle needs witnesses. There are seasons in life when she is struggling, confused, disappointed, or emotionally exhausted. But she does not feel obligated to explain every detail of her pain to everyone around her. She has learned that strength does not always mean pretending everything is perfect. Sometimes strength means accepting that something hurts, facing it honestly, and then deciding to work through it without turning the entire world into an audience. She knows the difference between seeking healthy support and seeking constant validation. When she genuinely needs help, she is not afraid to reach out to someone she trusts. She can speak to a close friend, mentor, family member, or professional when the situation requires it. Asking for help is not weakness. In fact, recognizing when you need support can be one of the clearest signs of emotional maturity. But she does not tell everyone everything. Why? Because not everyone knows how to hold another person's pain. Some people listen because they care. Others listen because they are curious. Some will encourage you when you are struggling, while others may secretly enjoy seeing you vulnerable. A wise woman learns that access to her deepest struggles should be earned through trust, compassion, and consistency. She also understands that constantly talking about a problem can sometimes keep you emotionally attached to it. There is a difference between processing pain and repeatedly reopening the same wound. You can spend hours explaining what someone did to you, replaying the conversation, discussing every detail, and asking everyone for their opinion, and still remain exactly where you started. At some point, healing requires action. Sometimes you have to stop explaining what happened and start deciding what happens next. If someone betrayed you, learn the lesson. If someone disrespected you, establish the boundary. If you made a mistake, take responsibility. If a relationship ended, allow yourself to grieve. If you failed, study the failure. But do not allow one painful chapter to become your entire identity. A strong woman does not deny her wounds. She refuses to build her personality around them. She understands that there is dignity in rebuilding quietly. While other people may only see her smile, they may never know how many nights she spent questioning herself, rebuilding her confidence, or learning how to trust again. And that is okay. She does not need applause for surviving. She does not need everyone to know how difficult the journey was. She does not need to prove that she was hurt before she is allowed to move forward. Sometimes the greatest form of healing is becoming so peaceful that you no longer feel the need to explain your pain to the people who caused it. She also understands the importance of emotional discipline. Not every emotion deserves an immediate reaction. Anger can tell you something, but it does not have to control your words. Disappointment can be real without becoming a public performance. Fear can exist without becoming a decision maker. She gives herself time, she breathes, she observes, she chooses her response instead of allowing the first emotional impulse to choose it for her. This is not about becoming emotionless. It is about becoming emotionally intelligent. Your pain is real, but it does not have to become your identity. Your struggle is important, but it does not have to become your introduction. And your difficult season does not have to be explained to everyone who asks. Protect your energy. Choose your confidants carefully. Seek help when you need it. Learn from what hurts you, but do not live inside the wound. Because sometimes the most powerful transformation happens quietly, when nobody is watching, when there is no applause, and when the only person who knows how hard you are fighting is you. Maybe the most powerful woman is not the one who tells everyone who she is. Maybe she is the woman who has learned to let her character speak before her words, her actions speak before her promises, and her peace speak louder than the opinions of others. You do not have to reveal every part of your life to prove that you are genuine. You do not have to announce every dream to prove that you are ambitious. You do not have to chase attention to prove that you are desirable. And you do not have to tell everyone about your battles to prove that you are strong. There is power in privacy. There is power in discipline. There is power in walking away from validation and choosing self-respect instead. Remember these 12 lessons, not as rules for becoming distant or mysterious, but as reminders to become more intentional about what you share, who you trust, and where you place your energy. Your silence should not come from fear. It should come from wisdom. Your boundaries should not come from bitterness. They should come from self-respect. And your confidence should not depend on who notices you. It should come from knowing who you are when nobody is watching. So the next time you feel the urge to explain yourself, pause. Ask yourself, do I really need to say this, or am I simply seeking approval? The answer may change the way you live, because not everything precious needs to be displayed. Not every dream needs an audience. Not every wound needs an explanation. And not every person deserves access to the deepest parts of you. Sometimes the strongest statement you can make is simply to live with purpose, move with discipline, protect your peace, and let your results speak. So remember this. You do not become high value by convincing the world that you are valuable. You become high value by living in a way that no longer requires the world's permission to respect yourself. And if this message connected with something inside you, don't let it end here. Take one lesson from this video and practice it today. Protect one boundary, keep one dream private, walk away from one source of unnecessary validation, and choose yourself, not from ego, but from self-respect. If you found value in this message, support the channel by liking this video, subscribing, and turning on notifications so you don't miss the next powerful lesson. Thank you for spending your time with us. Thank you for being part of this journey. And always remember, your peace is precious, your energy is valuable, and your life does not need an audience to become extraordinary. Until the next video, stay disciplined, stay grounded, protect your peace, and keep becoming the strongest version of yourself.